Hello everyone and welcome to the first of many Python tutorials. This is a beginner series and then it will get more advanced with games. Python is my favorite language and it was first released in 1991. It is very powerful. It can do web scraping games, etc. It's very easy to use and it's very good for creating small projects really quickly. So the first thing that you need to do is I recommend you download PyCharm. You also need to download Python. So downloads, leave a link for the website. It's just python.org. Go to downloads and you can download this your operating system. So obviously if you're on Windows, just go to Windows and then Python 3.6. Now it might have changed by the time you watch this video, but don't worry, it's exactly the same thing. Just have to look in the documentation at what's changed. So I've got this IDE called PyCharm. It's very useful because you can just run Python. You can just right click and run this file. Obviously if you're on like Windows, you'd have to download certain add-ons to be able to run like Mac command line stuff. But obviously if you're on a Mac, you can just go into terminal, locate your directory, your root directory where the Python file is. So you'd have your file, a folder called like Python tutorial or py, doesn't really matter, and inside that folder you want to have your first Python file. So mine's called guessthenumber.py. Let me just zoom in on this a little bit. So you can call yours any, but in this video we're going to create a game. Very basic game, but a game nonetheless. And I'm jumping into the deep end here on the first tutorial because I learn this way much better. I look at complex code in languages and learn much quicker. Instead of me making 20 videos on how to print if statements, just do it all in one within a game. So you're learning as well as playing a little game. So I think it makes learning a little bit easier. But I'm still learning Python myself, obviously. I'm no expert in it. I want to use it when I'm older for a job. Prefer to just use Python. Obviously, I have back-end web development, and Python is very, very useful. So, as you can see up here, I've typed this in. Now, this is to make sure you're using Python 3 because, for example, the difference between Python 2.7, I think it is, Python 3 is that when you do input, so you want to use as input, it's raw_input for the old Python, and the new Python's just input. So obviously we want to use Python 3, keep up to date. And in this game, what we need to do is we need to generate a random number first. So if we do import random, and don't worry if it goes like grey like that, because we need to actually generate the random number now. So if we do number, so this random number is equal to number. Actually, we'll call it random number, so it's easy to remember. So random dot rand integer between, in brackets you need to do between what numbers. So obviously between 1 and 10. You can do 10 and 1,000, but there won't be much point in that game. And we also want tries, so number of tries. We'll just call it tries is equal to 1. And what is wrong with this? Let's just call it number. There we go. Now what do we need? Think about it. So we want this game to generate a random number. Let's ask for the username of the person. So uname is equal to input, and in brackets you want to do, and in speech you want to do hello. Now let's just see what is your username, and then underneath this we can do print. Now we want to print hello, so basically we print now to the user hello hello their name. So hello, and then after the the speech marks, you want to do a comma, and then concatenate the variable uname. So we'd have to do uname, and then plus. So this is concatenating a full stop at the end. So obviously you need to bring back the speech marks with a full stop in the middle, and then at the end of that you want to do a comma again, and leave a space between the brackets. So if we run this, it says hello, what is your username? So if we type in Adam, it says hello Adam. And if you've run that and it's working, congratulations, you've run your first few lines in Python and it's clearly working. It's asking for a username and printing that out. See, I think people learn much easier this way. So let's get on with the actual game now. If so, we want to ask them a question, do they want to play a game? So if the question is basically yes, well, let me just type this in. So we want to do input, would you like to play a game? And obviously, because this is just terminal stuff, there's no GUI and that, no buttons, we'll just ask for yes or no. I'm pretty sure you've seen stuff like this before. And then underneath, we want to do if the question is equal to. Now equal to is two equal signs. This one more makes sense now, because this equal to basically means that we're assigning this variable with this expression and stuff. But if the question is equal to a certain value, so like if a is equal to true, if that makes sense, then do something. So if a question is equal to no, then we can just print. Go to the end here and make sure the indentation is correct. I will explain indentation and why it's the death of me. Okay, and it'll probably be the death of you as well. I have to learn in Python for a few months. So if the question is now equal to yes, so just a y, we'll do it in lowercase. Now this game obviously is basic, and you could type in anything here, and then so like if they type 1 instead of y or no, and you change this to 1 and 2, then it's the same principle, get the same start, as long as they match up. So print, you want to print out that I'm thinking of a number. So I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Right, so if we do guess is equal to integer, no times, we know times, input, and then brackets, quote, speech mark, sorry, take, or have a guess. Doesn't really matter what you put in, and then space that out. So here we're saying if the question is yes, so if they type y, print I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10, ask them for a guess between 1 and 10, and then here we can do if the guess is greater than the number, which is the random number at the start, if you remember, print, and obviously the user won't see this number because it's generated behind, basically like think of it like it's generated behind closed doors and they can't see. Print that it's guess lower. We'll say guess lower. And then what you need to do is if the guess, so now we're doing if the guess is higher, so we do the opposite. So if the guess is higher, that sign should be lower. As you can see, with a programming like this, little stuff like that can really mess up your program. And it's if you don't have a beard, you will grow one, just to let you know. That's it. Basically, it's enough said. So if the number, the guess is greater than the number, then we need to tell them to guess lower. So print. Sorry, no, we need to tell them to print. Wait, hang on. So wait, no, if the guess is greater than the number, print lower. If the guess is less than, print higher. So guess higher. Guess higher. guess higher. Guess. Wait. I can't. I'm confused myself here now. If the right. So the next thing we need to do is wild guess. It's because it's zoomed in like 1000% for me, so I can't really read it properly. Wild guess does not equal, so that means does not equal. So an exclamation mark with an equals does not equal number. Tries is plus equal to 1. Guess is equal to the integer input. So an input with brackets, an input with brackets again within speech marks. You want to tell them to try again. Space that out. Now let me explain this a little bit better. So if the guess is higher than the number, so if they guess 7 and the number's 5, it'll tell them to guess lower. If the guess is 5 and the number's 7, it'll tell them to guess higher. And while it's not while their guess is not equal to the number, we add a try every single go. So we add a number, we add a try, so 5 tries until they get it. And then we tell them to try again. So the guess, and then it goes back through, if this makes sense. So the guess, we tell them to try again. Because obviously we don't only want to give them one go. Hopefully that makes sense. So now after this we need to do, if guess is lower than the number, then we need to print higher. No, guess higher. So guess higher, we need to move this back, make sure the indentation's right. If guess is equal to the number, you want to print that they are right. So you're right, you win. What else can we say? Yeah, we could tell them what the number was. So the number was, and then after, remember after the speech marks, you do a comma, number. So we tell them the number. Then do a forward slash. Sorry, backslash. And then in quotes again. I keep saying quotes. Oh, it's speech marks. Speech marks only took, and after the speech marks again, I just broke my mouse. Then we tell them the tries, the number of tries with tries. Now this might look confusing to someone who's never looked at code before, but this is telling them this is a number. So it'll say if they took 10 tries, it'll say 10 tries. We don't want to just say 10. It only took 10. That wouldn't make sense if we didn't have this part. Now if we run this code, I'm not guaranteed this will work first time because there's always bugs. So what is your username? Let's just do whatever. Hello, add. Right, okay. Guess Y. Now make sure this is the same here. So when I guess in Y here, let me zoom in. Can I zoom in on this bit? Yes, I can. So make sure this here is the same as this. Click Y or click enter. Have a guess. So let's guess 5. Oh, well, I guessed right. I win. I should buy a lotto ticket. Right. Okay, let's run it again and try and not get it right. So let's just press anything. Y. 9. Guess lower. 1. Guess higher. 4. Yes! 3 tries. I win again. I'm too good at this. But obviously, it's only between 1 and 10. So I've got a fair chance. That's Y. 3. Oh, I guess right again. Oh, this is too good. Why does it keep zooming out? Hopefully you can see that at the bottom. And that is basically the first tutorial. Now, I know it's a game, and that's a good thing, like I keep saying. Hopefully you learned a little bit better, and you've learned a lot more. I'm not saying you'll learn straight away. You need to go and study it a little bit to get used to it, and try and add something maybe. Like you could probably rest in peace, Blue Snowball. What date? Time of death 10 to 8 on a Saturday. well, I'm gonna have to have a funeral now for my snowball. So if you did like the video, please hit the like button. If you got any problems or you need to explain a little bit, just leave it in the comments and I'll be happy to help. But there's not much I can explain for this video. Now this bit may be confusing, but here I'll just explain it. So the guess is equal to an integer, which is an input, the input again, so we're asking for a number and we're wanting them to try again, and then it basically loops back through because the guess is here, and it continues. Now I forgot to mention, actually that's just reminded me, the indentation. So if you look here, we've got the if just underneath the G on the guess, but here we've got the if at the beginning where the start point is for the, oh, I don't want to move that. Don't move that. Oh crap. Did I do anything then? Don't think I did. Let me just redo. Right. Yeah. So if you look on line 22 and 17, the ifs are in the same place, but here they're not. Between 20 and 22 and 17 and 20. This is because if we have the two ifs underneath each other, then it's going to only apply to the first if you think about it like this. So if the guess is 5 and the number is 2, then it's going to guess then it's going to print out guess lower. But then it's saying, but then the only the second if will apply if the first if is true. But obviously it can't be both, if you know what I mean. You can't have a guess that's higher than a number and lower the number at the same time, unless there's two different numbers, which in this case there isn't. So you have to make sure that the indentation's correct everywhere, so the G and the if there. I will make a video, the next video will be all on indentation, explaining it, but hopefully you can understand that a little bit. It's difficult to explain, but it's basically we need to, these definitely need to be separate, otherwise the program just won't work. And that is pretty much it. Because if we put that there, then it'll read the program will go through the code, and then it will get to this point and it'll be like, if the guess is less than a number, so if we guess 2 and the number's 7, then it'll say guess higher. But then if we guess the right number, so if the guess is 2 and the number's 2, it wouldn't know what to do, because this needs to be true before this can happen, and therefore the guess will not be lower than the number because the guess is the number. So we definitely need to put that at the back. Let's run it one more time. Let's see if I can guess first time. Let's go. Zoom in a little bit. Yes, I want to play a game. Let's guess 2. 7. 9. 10. Oh no, 8. Yes, 5 tries. Oh, that was terrible. Oh well. So that's it. If this video helped you in any way, please hit the like button, subscribe. I will try and make more videos more frequently. This channel is blowing up. I've almost got my website ready, codeoncommand.com. It's basically a blog for all your web development needs. I may start selling templates and stuff as well, because I want my own company. I want my own business with web development or something with technology, and that's what I'm aiming for. So any support I will appreciate, and thanks for watching.